The EP Podcast. Heard everywhere podcasts can be found, and always at the eppodcast.com.
A day late getting the EP podcast out, but luckily it's a podcast and it's on demand, so don't worry too much about it. My name is Chris Lanuti, and helping me out on this episode, Frank Murray's back from the Evergreen Park Public Library. How are you, my friend?
Hey, Chris, I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm good, after I have recovered from the flu, which I think a lot of people have.
It's going around.
Yeah.
It's going around.
I mean, like last week when we called off kids before Thanksgiving, we were told by one of the schools that it was like running rampant through the school. And then I noticed that like kids on my son's hockey team are all like, their parents are like in the chat room for the team saying, oh no, he's got the flu. And it's all flu. It was crazy how it's running through the area. And I think Thanksgiving was like the perfect time because everybody got a chance to go home and recover. I mean, we didn't even have our turkey till Sunday. And that's why the show's coming out on Tuesday, because I wanted to give us some sort of Thanksgiving. And so everything got a little bit delayed. But like I was down, the kids were down, Erica was down, an absolute mess. And I was going to have you over to the house, and then I was like, Frank, don't come over.
Yeah.
No. So we're doing everything right now, and we're going to learn all about what's going on over at the library. And if you'll indulge me, I have something that I noticed today that I kind of want to talk about.
Sure.
It's nothing to do with the library, but you're like a good sounding board for me. Right. So I'm gonna hit that today. And Glenn Panuski has some village events because we do have the Christmas festival that Evergreen Park has. Each and every year is coming up this coming Saturday. So there's so much to get into.
Got to get those tickets.
And this is all brought to you by the First National Bank of Evergreen Park. Remember, they're over there in that iconic building at 95th and Pulaski. They've got some great rates right now on CDs. 11 months is 3%, 3.25 for a 26-monther. Statement savings also giving a great rate as well. And you can stop in there and get the total access checking account with the free ATMs nationwide and a $300 bonus with qualifying activities. Paired with their mobile banking tools and award-winning customer service, switch now to a true community bank. It has never been easier. $100 required to open for this offer. No minimum monthly balance or monthly maintenance fees. Member FDIC. So let's get into some of the stuff going on. You like that? When I do that, you look at me and you go, wow.
Nailed that. You nailed that commercial, man. Boom. It's like, dang.
You know, when I was doing radio.
He's a professional, folks. He really is.
When I was doing radio, you would have this thing called a live read book.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it was still the Stone Ages in the 90s. Like, it wasn't like all on a screen. And you'd be sitting there trying to like run all the equipment. And then you'd have this stupid binder where like the salesperson wrote what the person wanted in the ad. And it doesn't even look like English. Like, it's not written out correctly. And you have to like, in the middle of the show, like all of a sudden you're like, oh, I got to read that stupid ad. And you're in the middle of your thought, and you reach over to the binder, like over the microphone while you're talking. If you've ever seen like Howard Stern's Private Parts movie, you know, a lot of people don't like Stern, but watching some of the stuff that happens behind the scenes in a radio station.
It's a good description of what actually goes on.
Oh yeah, because you're live and you're not always just like talking. Sometimes you're moving one hand over here and you're hitting a button over here while you're doing all of your talking. It's not as relaxed as it is when we're down here. And then you get like this mess in front of you. And you have to make it sound like you're just telling people something. And, you know, the punctuation's all screwed up and there's 4 misspelled words. So that comes from like years of just like having to figure it out on the fly, you know? You don't have to figure out much on the fly. You got a whole book in front of you.
It sounds like a fun time. Yeah, we do. We got a lot of stuff going on over at the library, Chris.
Your stuff's planned out. You already know what you're going to talk about. You got pages and pages, oodles and oodles of stuff. It's December at the library.
Yeah.
We got lots to get to today, but I figure I'll give you a few things right off the top here to tell people about.
Yeah, so with the holidays coming up here, December, we are chock full of all sorts of events for family and kids. We've got our ever popular letters to Santa. You have until December 9th. You can come into the library, write your letter, and then drop it in our little mailbox that's going to go right to the North Pole.
What information do the kids put on the letters? They put their address on there? They put their name on there? Is there an assumption that Santa already knows their name so they don't have to put that? What do you require them to put on the letter?
Yeah, so they need to put their name and their address so they can Santa can write a letter back to them.
Oh, Santa's writing a letter back.
Santa, okay. Yeah, Santa writes back to them. For sure. But they write if they've been good or bad. And last year, I think it was my son wrote that he was bad.
That's awesome.
It's great. I mean, he's being honest.
You know what he's going for? He's going for honest points.
He's going for honest points.
He's saying to himself, if I admit that I did it wrong, then maybe Santa will forgive me.
You get the point there.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, it's basic Catholicism, right? You screw up, you go to confession. That's what it is right there.
Well, I think
that's what I do.
I think Santa appreciates the honesty.
And I go say I'm sorry. So that's what the kids pulling with Santa Claus. I love it.
Why tell another lie to dig yourself even further on the naughty list? Then
right.
You get it's out there. Then we also have make a graham cracker gingerbread, not a gingerbread house, but a graham cracker gingerbread house.
I like that better because I hate gingerbread.
Wednesday, December 7th at 6:30 p.m. It's for grades kindergarten through 5th. And then, of course, we have Santa story time with Dreezy Claus. He's an award-winning Santa, and we're very honored to have him on Saturday, December 10th at 11 a.m.
Wait, what's the name of this Claus?
Dreezy Claus.
Who's Dreezy Claus?
Dreezy Claus.
Dreezy Claus sounds like a rapper that I've never heard of until now.
We might have to ask him.
Dreezy Claus.
He might have some music. We might have to
It definitely sounds like some sort of musical artist that my children would know. Here comes Dreezy.
Dreezy Claus.
Okay, and he's got like a Santa Claus hat. All right. What is Dreezy Claus?
So Dreezy Claus, Saturday, December 10th at 11
who is
a.m.
he? Why is he called Dreezy Claus?
He's everybody's favorite Santa.
Like, what's with the weird name?
That's what he goes by.
He goes by Dreezy.
He's
Claus?
Dreezy Claus. He's Dreezy Claus. He's a big hit. We had him last year. Tons of fun. And he actually lit the at the downtown the lights for the tree last year.
Did
downtown.
He? Mm-hmm. All right. Mm-hmm. All right.
And so we're excited to have him back. We'll do story times. We'll have treats. We'll have some crafts. So come on out. It'll be a good time.
I almost want to come out because I want to know what's with Dreezy Claus.
Yeah, come on.
Why is he called Dreezy Claus? You can't give me any more insight into this.
He's Dreezy Claus.
Okay.
Well, then Snowman at Christmas Party. That's Wednesday, December 14th at 6:30. Chris, Snowman at Christmas is a popular children's book that shows you how snowmen celebrate the holiday season.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
I think we had that book. I had that book. I used to read that to my two older kids.
Perfect.
It's already lost, so the younger kid will never get it. I always laugh about that. Like the older kids will have completely different memories than the younger kids because some of the books the older kids have got destroyed.
Do you remember that great story we always read every year? Oh, no.
Dad used to read us that book, and the other kid's going to be like, he never read me that book. Like, he'll be in therapy wondering why he didn't get that book, but the other two did.
Well, have him stop at the library. We got a copy.
All right.
You can check it out.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Or come to on Wednesday, December 14th at 6:30.
Before the next one here, Frank, quick reminder to everybody, Cool Clouds Vapor Shop has moved. They are no longer at their original location. They're at 3148 West 95th Street. That's right there in that Oberweis section at 95th and Kedzie. The brand new Spoke and Vine wine bar set to go in there as well. Quitting smoking is hard. Cool Clouds wants to give you an alternative full taster bar, great CBD products. Stop it and see them at the new location, 3148 West 95th Street, or visit coolcloudsvapor.com. What else you got?
And then, of course, we have our story walk with Mrs. Claus. That's going to be Friday, December 23rd at 2 p.m., weather permitting. Again, because this one will be outdoors. This will be at Yukich Field where our story walk is featured. And the story for this quarter is Snowmen at Christmas.
So you're going heavy early on here. You got snowmen, Santa, Mrs. Claus, and then whoever Dreezy
Claus. And then we also have the Evergreen Park Community High School Madrigals will be coming out. They're also going to be having an art exhibit too. The art students at Evergreen Park High School. That's going to be Thursday, December 8th at 6:30. So the Madrigals will perform and the art exhibit will be opening.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Those kids are always really good at what they do.
They're extremely talented.
I love their songs. And the thing is, they have the traditional songs and then they do something that's kind of like goofy. There's a show that's basically being put on. They're not just singing like traditional carols. It's really kind of a show when they put it on. I love having the Madrigals down here, and I think it's exciting. Anytime you get a chance to go see them in person, folks, take advantage of it. That's a really cool program.
Chris, I'm pumped. I get to see him twice. I'll get to see him at the library, and then I'll get to see him. The Chamber of Commerce has them every year, too, for their Christmas party. So I am excited. I get to see them twice.
Those kids should be making extra money at that event. Did you see the price of the Chamber of Commerce thing? $50 a head for lunch and the Madrigals. I hope those kids are making some money. Okay, that's a big ticket right there. $50 a head.
You're gonna have to become the manager, Chris.
$50 a head at the Chamber of Commerce. Okay, for lunch. Holy cow!
They got to pay for the madrigals and raise some money.
I mean, there better be an open bar for $50 a head. $50 a head for lunch on a weekday, and the madrigals. The madrigals better be making some coin off of that. You were talking about those talented madrigal kids. I went and took my kids for drop off at the school today because my wife was not fully recovered. I was like, you know what, you take a rest. I'm going to take the kids to drop off, okay? Because, you know, we had everything run through here with the sickness and the illness and whatever. I said, I'll take them. I had to get up early for something else this morning. I don't normally do this. Do you ever drop off the kids at school?
Oh, yeah.
You do?
Uh-huh.
See, I don't normally do it. So I feel like as somebody who doesn't normally drop off the kids at school, I don't know. I was really annoyed. Like, do you think that it's possible that, like, people who do it on a regular basis just come to accept some of the annoyance of dropping off your children as, like, normal? Because as I did it, I was like, why do people put up with this garbage when they're dropping them off?
What got you so worked up?
There's one thing. There's a certain group of people. I'm going to call them the Evergreen Park VIPs.
Oh,
these are
VIPs.
People who, while their children are going to the same school that your children are going to, and while they receive the exact same email that you received about how people get dropped off at school, those rules don't apply to them, right? And this applies, I think, at every school. Because I remember when my son Nick was going to Southwest, right? There's like a whole row of parking spaces at Southwest along Central Park. And there's signs everywhere that say, for teachers only, right? But there's always those 2 or 3 parents at pickup or drop off that feel they're so important, they get to use those spots too. Everybody else is parked a block away, right? Everybody else is like in the neighborhood. They're on the other side of Porter Cullen's, for crying out loud.
Right.
They're 3 blocks away, rain, snow, sleet, hail. They walk up to the school because they listen to the rules. But there's always those VIPs, Frank, that just pull into the spot and don't care, right? Because they're far more important than everybody else. At Most Holy Redeemer, the VIPs, they pull up on Millard.
Okay.
All right? You're supposed to go down on the, come in on the other side and exit onto Millard. It's specifically said. But there are people who come up on Millard, park on the wrong side of the street, so they're facing oncoming traffic up against the school, and they park right up where all the cars pull out of the lot. So as you pull out of the lot, you pull into this huge traffic jam of kids crossing the street, cars coming down the street. There's not enough room for all the cars, and you have a blind spot created by an Evergreen Park VIP that feels as though, even though everybody else drives around the block, they can park right there. So I saw an Evergreen Park VIP parked there, very important person, okay? Their kid was not late for school, Frank. It wasn't like,
okay, so this wasn't rush hour.
Drop-off's still going on. There's a line of cars going through the lot, right?
You just don't want to sit through the line?
But the VIP's like, forget that noise. I belong right here. I'm the very important person that must stop. I have to stop right here and park my car in this spot and block everybody else, right? And then you have, like I said, the thing over at Southwest I've observed before. And then after I do that with my one kid, I drop the other one over at Mother Macaulay. And I don't know if that's an Evergreen Park VIP. That could be an Orland Park VIP for all I, everybody goes over to that school, right? But I'm dropping my daughter in Circle Drive. Everybody's moving through. Everybody's rotating. And then the VIP pulls up, man. And the VIP is like 2 cars in front of me. And the VIP stops, blocks everybody, gets the kid out of the car, and then stands there and has a conversation.
Oh, wow.
Because they're a very important person. Folks.
Not only stops, but has a conversation.
Listen, let me explain something. I don't drop off my kids, and it's probably a good thing, because I'd be in a fist fight a week into it. You, Frank, are an extremely patient person if you're dropping off kids every day, because these people drive me nuts. Okay?
Well, at the school that my kids go Northwest, we got a pretty good system. It works pretty well.
Okay, tell me about their system.
We have a drop-off area where people can pull up, grab the kid off. They can even get out if they want. And there's like 4 spots. People rotate good. There's no long line. I was going to make a joke about my VIP card. I should probably not show you my Evergreen Park VIP card.
You better not be an Evergreen Park VIP. You're following the rules at drop-off, right?
No, absolutely. We're actually parking like a block away. Take the kids out.
Right.
Get them up there.
So
my son's perennially worrying about if we're late or not. I'm like, don't worry. We're going to be okay.
So, but there's a rotation, and you pull in a certain way when you go and you do things, right? Do you have any VIPs? Come on, be honest. You know there's a VIP. You know there's somebody who breaks the rules.
Not that I've noticed. There might be a parent
They got like a vanity license plate because they're very special with like gold around their license plate or something like that. They're probably driving an oversized car or something that you would only have in the mountains, but they have it in the streets of Evergreen Park.
Do you have to pay extra for that at the village?
The VIPs have those. It's a gas-guzzling giant tank that they're driving, right? You know, it's got gold trim around the license plate, and it's probably like a personalized plate, right? Come on, you know that you have one over there, because I have them at all of my schools when I drop off my kids.
I'm telling you, man, we got a really, really smooth, efficient system going on over there at Northwest. It's going really good.
All
but
right.
no, I haven't known. If something, there might be somebody who parks in the parking lot, real late, after, kids are late and stuff, whatnot. I think a parent might sneak into the parking lot that's for teachers only, but.
Oh, there's a VIP right there.
That might be
There's
one.
a VIP.
But
if you've seen an Evergreen Park VIP, I would love to hear about them. Okay? Tell me all about it at the EPPodcast.com. Leave me a voice message or just send me a thing. I don't want you to call them out by name, right? But like, I would love to hear about an EP VIP, especially at school drop-off, who doesn't think the rules apply to him. I mean, seriously, this got to me today, man.
I can tell.
I
can tell.
I was in the car saying 4-letter words and wondering if I flip this person off, will I see them again in the future? And the answer was yeah. You know I'm going to bump into them again.
For sure.
So at this point, the only thing I have is just call out these people on my podcast.
Oh, way to keep your cool. And I love this little segment of what grinds Chris's gears.
Yeah. I'm like the old man who yells at a cloud.
Have you been injured at work? Then you need someone who will fight for the care and compensation you deserve. The insurance companies will look out for themselves and their bottom lines, not you. I'm Matthew Coleman, partner and head of the work injury department at the law offices of Parenti and Norm. My team and I have the experience, dedication, and proven results it takes to fight for your rights. Call or text me today at 312-641-5926 or visit us on the web at pninjurylaw.com.
The plague is in my house. So Glenn Panuski was going to sit down here at the 9 Foot Homemade Oak Bar, but instead he's on the phone, safe wherever he is. You stay in your bunker, Glenn. I might be the only person immune to it at this moment.
Well, and I had somebody in the household who had strep throat last weekend too. So yeah, we pretty much everybody been keeping their distance here in the house. So it's around.
It was probably like 2 years of everybody being really careful not to catch anything from each other, and the germs have been waiting. And I think like everybody I talk to has a completely different thing running through their house right now. So you've got a play that I know that you're going to be putting up here. I want to say this week. And you also have the Dickens Festival this week. You got a lot coming up this week.
Yeah, no, December is going to be. I'll tell you, it's been a busy fall. We had that wonderful. Last I saw you was the Oktoberfest, which was a great event. And then a few weeks later, we had that Halloween event over at Sexton Park, renamed now from 50 Acre Park. That was a great night. That recreation department, the village and the recreation department, they just outdo themselves at every opportunity. And I can't say enough about, you have the mayor's office, and of course in the rec department, you got Karen and Jill and Josie. I mean, they just, they kick it into overdrive come the fall. But yes, Saturday, December 3rd, we do have the annual Dickens Festival over at the community center from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. You have a chance to take the Holly Trolley. The pony rides will be back. That was big on Oktoberfest. That was the line for that. That was, and then they had the nice petting zoo there too. And of course, Santa Claus will be there. Obviously, it's free entry to go to the festival. You want to bring some cash for some food, and there will be some food vendors there. So, it's a great. And then at 6:00, right over there on right across from the community center, we've got the Christmas tree lighting, which will take place. Mayor Burke will officially light that tree. It's so nice that we actually have a real tree in there now. It seemed like for many years we'd be borrowing a tree or somebody, getting one donated, and then it's gone, a couple of weeks after Christmas. We've got a really nice tree in there. In fact, if you come down 97th Street from the west and you drive towards Klein Park, and they have that Christmas tree, and they've got the nice sign, for the park right in front of it. It really is a beautiful site.
Yeah, it's a big event each and every year. The tree lighting is always a joy. We're going to be out there, the EP podcast. I was just sent an email today asking whether or not we'd be out there. I said yes. They said, hey, can you bring some face painting? Because I know that line always gets long. So I think we're going to supplement the village's face painting with our own face painting as well. There'll be more than one way for you to get your face all painted.
But yeah, the next weekend then is our Evergreen Park Recreation Department Candlelight Theater presents the Christmas fantasy musical Daydreamland, which is something that I wrote. We've been at it since beginning of September, and that is Friday, December the 9th at 7:30 at the Senior Center, the 10th, Saturday night, 7:30, and then 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday, the 11th. Tickets are available at the Recreation Department now. They are available on the website. It's probably easy. That's easy if you're only buying 1 or 2 tickets. Because that online system is technically for people signing up for programs, they ask you name, address, for every single individual. So it's probably not practical if people have 7, 8 people going, but you can always go into the rec department, pay with a charge card, you're in and out. So
did I hear this right, that you wrote this play?
Yes, it is something I've always wanted to do a musical based on the game Candyland. It's the only game that I know how to play. Give me bright colors and Queen Frostina, and it pretty much shows you how deep I am. But we certainly couldn't do that, because of copyright things. And plus, something like that would have to be done on a huge stage, something like Oak Lawn or the Beverly Theater Guild or even our own Evergreen Park High School. Whereas we're more of a black box theater kind of. So what I did is we've got this story about a young girl who she's living with her grandmother, and it's a dreary Christmas Eve. The girl's kind of in the doldrums, and her grandmother is saying, we got to pep you up, just use your imagination. And she doesn't really want to. She finds this game board with a game called Daydreamland. And she opens it up, and yes, very Jumanji-like, she enters this world, come to life, of Daydreamland. And she gets there, and she finds out that, yes, the land is in danger. She has to go across the land to the Queen's Castle, and she does that by way of a game board, of which, she accumulates points along the way. And like Candyland, a lot of her stops are in these special little lands. And that's where a lot of your musical numbers and funny characters are. And it's an enjoyable little romp. It's our youth production, so we've got quite a good generous handful of Evergreen Park actors, a bunch of them out of Holy Redeemer actually, and it's a fun show. So please all come out on December 9th, 10th, and 11th.
I think this is pretty exciting because you've been putting on plays for a while over there, and to make up your own musical and to write your own thing. I know you don't want to pat yourself on the back over this, but I think it's pretty exciting that we have an original musical crafted by Glenn Panuski and now being performed in Evergreen Park, coming up not this weekend, but the next one.
Well, and the reason why we do that, a lot of the things, especially with the youth musicals, are things that I will write because then I can tailor them to the kids who audition. You've
got Dickens Festival. You've also got you've got your musical coming up. Anything else here in the month of December? Anything you want people to be aware of?
Yeah, well, on December 15th, our senior luncheon is over at the community center at 11 o'clock. We've got roast pork dinner, lunch, I should say. The entertainment is by our double nickel chorus. $10. It's a $10 ticket that you have to you can pick up at the community center. So that'll be fun. And then, of course, on December the 18th, the Sunday night, is the City Lights concert over at the Most Holy Redeemer at 7 o'clock. Those tickets have been available. They're free tickets. They are available through the community center. They have been moving. So hopefully by the time, people hear this, there's still some left, because that thing usually does. Those tickets go fast, but it is a wonderful concert.
Glenn Panuski, thanks so much for jumping on the line and for all you do, my friend. I mean, what the heck? You're writing plays. You've got all these different events going on. You jump on the EP podcast. You tell us all about it. I appreciate it.
I appreciate your help, sir, and I look forward to you at Dickens.
EP podcast listeners, switch to a new age of life. Hyatt Home Medical Equipment right here in Evergreen Park wants to help you, your family, stay in the home, stay independent. No need to go to a nursing home. We're talking about smart homes, a home set up with an app opening and closing doors, aids set up around the house, in the bathroom to reduce fall risk, retrofitting the bathtub, bringing in specialized chairs and beds. Maybe you just have sleep apnea and you want the latest and greatest equipment. They have the CPAP machines and the testing rooms right there on site. Everything from diabetes control to extra oxygen tanks. Hyatt Home Medical Equipment is your one-stop shop with a knowledgeable staff that you can talk to in person right here in Evergreen Park. They will work with your insurance, and if you mention the EP podcast, you get additional money off. Check them out at hhme.com or stop it and see them today. 3518 West 95th Street, right here in the EP. Frank Murray, we're almost out of time. You got to give me a couple more things. I got to prep myself in case I ever have to drop off at another school again. So we're going to wrap this show up.
We have a pretty cool event that we haven't done before. This is the Polar Express Readers Theater. This is going to be Saturday, December 17th at 1 p.m., and this is led by the Evergreen Park Community High School Thespians.
This is one of my favorite movies, Polar Express, for the holidays.
Right. It's one of the top holiday movies of all time.
Well,
right?
I mean, when I sit down and I think about holiday movies, Christmas time movies, I think of Polar Express. I think of It's a Wonderful Life, even though it really isn't a Christmas movie. A Christmas Story.
Although
I don't think I can bring myself to watch Christmas Story 2. Where Ralphie's grown up.
You're going to do it.
My wife has asked me 3 times, do you want to watch it on 3 different nights? And I've gone, no. Okay. Die Hard. That's a classic Christmas movie. Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay. And Gremlins. People forget that Gremlins is a Christmas movie as well.
All right. You're putting, okay.
Right.
All right, there we go.
I'm with it. Look, if you're going to tell me that It's a Wonderful Life is a Christmas movie, when all of 10 minutes of the movie takes place on Christmas, right? If you're going to tell me that's a Christmas movie, and Die Hard takes place all throughout Christmas, and Gremlins takes place, the Gremlin is literally a gift. Christmas, right? That's why those are Christmas movies. You can't have It's a Wonderful Life as a Christmas movie and then say Die Hard is not a Christmas. In fact, Die Hard 2 is also a Christmas movie. Takes place at an airport during Christmas.
Okay. You make the argument there. Right, you got the setting.
Back to these so-called legitimate Christmas movies in the Polar Express. Are you pulling kids around the train, or what are you doing here?
Yeah, the Evergreen Park High School group, they're going to direct players in a Polar Express rendition. They're going to have scripts, props, and then we'll provide the treats.
We'll have hot chocolate for the song?
New show. I think you kind of have to.
You got to have hot chocolate for the song.
I think you have to.
Hot chocolate. I've already seen it 3 times this week.
I was going to say, you got it down.
My kid Nick, he loves it. My 7-year-old man, he loves that movie. I've seen that movie. He loves trains and he loves Christmas.
Oh, so boom.
That's his movie right there. Exactly.
You can come and watch it a 4th time.
Can I get VIP parking?
For you, Chris, no. We're going to make you park at the end of the block, around the corner. We've got a couple adult ones here for adults that are looking for something to do. We got a couple DIY crafts. On Monday, December 12th at 6:30, you can make a snowman wine glass, and there will be a $3 fee.
Okay. I love when you do this. I love when you do this. And you know that when you want to bring adults in, you have to attach alcohol in some way. So you're like, all right, we want adults to do a craft. We'll have them create a winter wine glass.
Boom. We're limited to the number of people, so it's gonna book up. This is a hot commodity. You're gonna register. Yeah, you gotta register.
You register at the library's website.
Register at the library's website, or give us a call.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, or in person. Stop in person. And then another really popular program that we have is Crafting with Carrie. Carrie's a former librarian. She's retired, but she has a crafting series that she does, and she's going to make a really adorable Santa out of a paintbrush that you can use either as an ornament or to decorate a gift. And that's going to be Monday, December 5th at 6:30 p.m.
All right, Frank's final plug for the Evergreen Park Library. You know I love it when you stop in here. We have a lot of fun and you get a chance to get all your library programs out. The final plug brought to you by sidsauce.net. They grow the peppers in Evergreen Park. They make the hot sauces right here. They deliver them to your door for free. Everybody that is in Evergreen Park and the surrounding area. Great Christmas gifts and also something to keep in the house. The only place I get my hot sauce. Check it all out at sidsauce.net. What do you got?
Well, you mentioned it when I came in. The video that we posted, we did a live unboxing of our new 3D printer.
I saw this
the library
online.
has.
You doing the social media video. You and all the TikTokers out there dancing on screen. But what you were doing is you were unveiling your. I thought there was a dance. I kind of just skimmed through it. I didn't even hit audio. I just saw you on there. I'm like, I don't want to.
If you want to think there's a dance, go for it.
I don't want to watch Frank dance, okay? Or use that weird like voiceover thing that the kids do on their TikToks and other reels and things like that. Okay, but you were unveiling the 3D printer.
So we're going to be using it for educational purposes and going along with the library's mission of lifelong learning. We're going to be having classes, intro to 3D printing and intro to 3D design for all ages.
Is it only going to be used in classrooms, or can somebody create something over there if they wanted to?
Yes, great
I would
question.
imagine there'll be like restrictions because of the things that people will try to make with a 3D printer, right? I mean, you don't want firearms made with the 3D printer in the library. That'd be wrong. But I have my daughter is taking a CAD class. She's thinking about becoming an architect.
Awesome.
Okay, so she's a junior in high school, and they have created certain things with a 3D printer over at the school. So I'm wondering if she got herself into creating something or needed to do something for school and there was access to another 3D printer, will that be available?
That's going to be available. People will be able to send in their 3D print requests to us, STL file, OBJ file, and we just ask that they'll give us about 2 weeks to print it.
Right.
And there will be a nominal charge just to make back the filament that we used.
Yeah, because there's material that
object.
has to be used in it.
Correct.
You know, it does cost money to be able to print the entire thing out.
And a big thank you, because the library is able to purchase this 3D printer through the sponsorship of OSF, Little Company of Mary Hospital, and OSF, their innovation department. So a big thank you to them and their sponsorship, along with the Evergreen Park Public Library Foundation. They were instrumental in starting the conversation.
But you'll be able to, you'll get the plans. Mm-hmm. You'll decide whether or not this is going to be a cute piece of art or if it's a device meant to make the world explode, right? You'll look at the plans, you'll figure that out, right?
Yeah, certain weapons and things will
right. Well, I mean, that's the thing. You don't want somebody to just send you plans.
Right.
You put together the plans, and it's a man-eating robot.
It's a man.
Okay, you don't realize it until after it comes out of the printer.
Exactly.
That's what I imagine.
And then it launches right away, and there we go.
This is how I come up with safeguards. I think of what's the worst possible thing that could happen. So if I had a 3D printer like you over at the library, I would think to myself, okay, we'll take their plans, but we have to have safeguards in place in case a killer robot walks out of the machine.
Right. We don't. Yeah. Exactly. Right. We're gonna prevent those killer robots from walking out.
That's all I want to make sure about.
Another show isn't wrapped up. Another show's in the books. Another show isn't wrapped up. And then by the looks, it's gonna be a good one. And we'll see you next week. And the nudist basement. And the nudist basement. Another show is wrapped up. Another show is wrapped up. Another show is wrapped up. And it's in the books. Another show is wrapped up. Another show is wrapped up. And by the looks, it's gonna be a good one. Nudist basement. Broadcast basement. The nudist basement. The broad basement. Slancha.
The EP Podcast. Heard everywhere podcasts can be found. And always at the EPPodcast.com.